I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Azeret Seir joins us. Hi.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Thanks so much for coming on. If you could introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, my name is Azeret, or if you value your time, just call me Aze. And I am a noble sorceress from a realm called Ameador that played with some ancient magic and accidentally crash landed on Earth. And now I'm trying to find my way through and learns about you Earthlings and your culture and your ways. And I'm having a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, you're the queen of chaos. Sometimes you play with things that come back to bite you a little bit.
Yeah, all the time.
So when did you get started with VTubing?
So actually, it's just a little bit over 2 months at this point. I started on 20th of March this year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very crazy idea that I got in the morning. I literally woke up and I was like, what if? What if I try to go VTuber route? You know? Because I mentioned it before, it's not a secret. I have been a facecam streamer for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Before. Yeah. But in the last year and a half, sorta, I just felt stuck. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't doing well mentally. I didn't enjoy the content creation that I was doing.
Right.
So I was taking a sort of break at the 2 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I just woke up and I was like, I need to change something finally because I cannot go like this anymore.
Yeah.
And it was just an idea, and I literally just grabbed first pre-made model that I found and just set up real quickly, just couple scenes in OBS and went live.
Yeah.
and I was mind blown, like how well that stream went. And I was streaming also Marvel Rivals, which is like absolutely terrible game for streaming, right?
Well, yeah, it's really tough to interact with anybody when you're doing that.
Yeah, right. And I streamed for about just 2 hours, and I gained like 10 followers, and I was having 5 people watching me, and it was a lot of fun. And I was like, all right, so maybe I'll try to continue with this. And I spent the whole weekend just setting up stuff and learning about VTubing and like what does it mean to be a VTuber and everything, and set up some kind of a lore and everything. And yeah, here I am.
Oh, wow, dang. So it must be nice to be able to just wake up with a thought in your head and get it done in one day.
That's the curse of ADHD and hyper focus, you know.
Yeah, I'm the other way around. I think of something in one day, and maybe next year I'll get around to it.
No, that's the worst. That's the worst. Once I get an idea, I just go for it, and I just make it. I make it real, and I don't know if it's good because sometimes it's yeah, it can be pretty insane, and everyone around is really like, what are you doing? But sometimes I have an idea like this, and actually it works pretty well.
Well, I mean, you've been growing pretty quick. I mean, it really it's like it was waiting for you to jump in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was comparing myself, obviously, like I'm looking at the stats and stuff, what I had as a facecam streamer and what I have now, and I reached affiliate on Aze as a VTuber in just 12 streams. It was less than 2 weeks. And reaching affiliate on my facecam stream took me about 3 or 4 months.
Oh.
You know, and right now on my Twitch, I'm standing on almost 150 followers.
Dang.
On YouTube, I have over 200 at this point, and I
Dang.
even created YouTube later
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
my Twitch.
Yeah.
And it took me about a year to get to 100 followers on my Facecam stream. So I'm just like, I don't know what's going on a little bit, but looks like the algorithm and everything, people seems to like VTubers a little bit more, apparently. At least that's what's going on in my head.
Yeah.
And I think also that my um my like sorry,
Go ahead.
trying to find the words.
It's all right. It's all right.
The lore. Yeah, I was trying to remember the lore. Yes,
Right.
lore. My lore. I think I have a little bit of advantage in this one because I decided to go with something that I'm really passionate about, and I love like a fantasy and like medieval style kind of
Hmm.
things.
Yeah.
And I actually a couple years ago, that's not couple, actually 5 or 6 years ago at this point, I created a whole universe
Oh.
with characters, magical system,
Yeah.
stories and stuff.
Cool.
And I have been always so passionate about that.
Mm.
And I just decided to take one character out of it and okay, you know what? Let's take Aze and let's make her into live action,
Right.
And she's gonna like introduce her world and everything, and all the other characters and tell the stories and stuff, to the Earthlings.
Ah.
And, and
Did you write these out, or how did they come
yeah,
about?
yeah, actually, it was a part of a text RPG that I
Mm.
had.
Whoa.
So everything is written out. Like theoretically, you can find it on the internet because it's publicly out there, but it's all in my native language, so you will not understand unless you speak the language. And
It'd be very hard for me to understand in any language, but
yeah,
at this
so
age.
yeah, so I just decided to, hey, I want to bring it to life, basically the whole thing,
Mhm.
but I'm not a good at like animation or drawing, so like I cannot make like series on YouTube like that. Absolutely no. I don't really want to write a book, to be fair.
Mhm.
And hey, what if I just do it through streaming? Because I really love to do streaming. I really enjoy the whole content creation thing,
Mhm.
and use it as a VTuber, because I have voice mods and all kinds of stuff, that I can use, and I'm not afraid to use like other models, basically.
Mhm.
So there is a sort of idea that I might actually buy a male VTuber model
Oh.
and do like a kind of skits for my YouTube where I'm like telling the stories between the characters,
Ah, there you go. Oh, that would
for
be
example.
really cool to do some storytelling along those lines, and you'd be able to continue to be as um, productive as you'd like with the and you could expose the world as you'd fit, as you'd
Yeah,
see
exactly.
fit, and be able to tell the tale as you go. That's really cool. Being able to kind of almost kind of stumble upon a way to bring those characters to life.
Yeah, I like obviously like the characters already have a face sort of because it was we were using well, it's a little bit cringe when I'm looking at it right now. It's we were using K-pop idols,
Ah, no, no,
for,
no, no, no.
for the characters.
I
So,
mean,
for
there's.
example, I have this character called Sariel. He's a angel,
Mhm.
and I was using if you know, I don't know if you're familiar with, but K-pop group EXO and one of their members, Kai. So like when I'm talking about Sariel, I see Kai from EXO, so it's kind of funny.
Your all your characters are J-pop
Uh,
members.
Not all.
Well, I mean, the faces anyway are.
Yeah, I mean, like I had like when I was, it was sort of fan fiction when you like, yeah, we can call it a fan fiction
Mm-hmm.
sort of, because I all of my characters were either from Korean music industry or Japanese industry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, some were. Um, I know that I have one vampire that is inspired by Jake Gyllenhaal. It's just
Well, that there's no pop involved in that whatsoever.
no, like it's completely random, to be fair.
So I got to ask you before we go on: J or K-pop?
Definitely K-pop.
K-pop. No, okay. And then there
And
is.
there is a reason for it, because uh I'm a huge K-pop fan,
Yeah.
but I'm the retro. I'm not the BTS Blackpink one.
Yeah.
I've been into K-pop industry for about 17 years at this point.
Whoa, wow. So, which one is your
Yeah,
favorite?
I'm the OC.
OC. Yes. So if I were to,
OG.
if I were to OG, if I was going to press you on which one you would listen to the most, which one would you listen to the most?
There's a couple of them actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I have started with Big Bang,
Mm-hmm.
but I absolutely love like the even older, which are Dongbang Shinki, for example,
Mm-hmm.
or HOT,
Mm-hmm.
or Super Junior, those groups. But I also love some like newer one. But like when I say newer, it's like they came out in like 2011, and it feels like, oh my god, those are babies. No, they are not. They are already over 10 years old groups,
Yes.
And I feel
Yes.
so bad.
Yeah. And for idols, in those industries, they're reaching retirement age.
Oh, like that group, like when we talk about that particular group, it's the EXO group,
Yeah.
and they are like that. They started as a 12 members group. Now at this point, I think they are only nine there officially, but they split up. They are doing
Mm.
the solo stuff at this point because, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. After a while, you got to peel off and do your own thing a little bit anyway. Even
yeah.
but you seem like you're doing your own thing in Aces here. What is the difference for you between that that you think is the difference for you between the face cam and the VTuber streaming? Is there something tangible you can relate to?
Um, so definitely, I can say for sure, for 100% sure, that it's less stressful to be a VTuber because um, it took me literally like almost at least an hour and a half to get ready for a stream as a face cam, because
Mm.
like as much as I know that it doesn't really matter if I want to go that way, like it's completely fine, that I just sit down, with like no makeup and like, my absolutely hobo myself, and just stream. But I just couldn't do it, right? Like, hey, I have some I have some I'm a little bit insecure about that, like I'm not just gonna do this. So yeah, so like as a girl especially, like I had to like I knew that I'm streaming, let's say at 7 p.m., so I need to start getting ready at like 5:30 at this point, do my hair, choose my clothes, do my
uh,
makeup and everything, and
uh,
then to have the time to set up everything like OBS, Twitch,
yeah.
if I'm multi-streaming and all those stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
and the constant, while I'm streaming and I looking at my webcam, oh, how do I look? Do I have a double chin? That kind of stuff. It was just so stressful. And also, if I was feeling bad, you can see it on my face, right? Like
Right.
my expressions and everything. So that was another thing.
Yeah.
With Aze, I don't need to care. Like literally, I start stream at 4, and 3:55 I'm still watching YouTube and like not not doing anything, And then I just start everything, and hey, I'm this beautiful purple hair, violet eyes girl, and I don't need to care.
Well, two, you get to with this, and as you mentioned, you kind of get to set your own backstory up. I mean, you don't need to. You're not introducing yourself. You're introducing the characters first, and
Mhm.
you go into it. This is your world you're creating, and you're inviting everybody else to it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
having is it more control you think uh, doing this than you would as a face cam streamer?
um, I so as a face cam streamer, I was more a little bit like all over the place because
Hmm.
I will because like when I think about it, like I could do this basically like introduce this like world and everything, as a
Hmm.
face game streamer too, but I just feel that it's a little bit more fun to do it like as a VTuber and be the character actually.
Hmm.
So I feel like I have a little bit more freedom. I definitely added uh to the whole thing like because I am the character and now I'm like I added the story basically that
Hmm.
like as I suddenly appeared on Earth and now I'm doing these um like at the beginning of the stream sometimes I just like prepare some type of a script like for example Az's first time in a supermarket or like or uh as a first ride in a car or
Yeah.
as I goes fishing and and I just like and it's just so funny to like create like a story that like as is anticipating this epic battle with like fishing because there's like monsters in the lake and then
Right.
in the end it's just like sitting for 2 hours and nothing's going on so
The bobber's not moving. The pole hasn't
yeah.
done anything. Trying to figure out which spell to use.
Exactly, yes.
That's that's great. That's very creative. And I mean, you must be a creative person all the way around. Would you call yourself that?
eh, I don't know.
Mm. Well, I mean, you came
I'm
up with
just
an entire world. That's pretty creative.
yeah. I feel like I have been always a little bit of creative and I had a bunch of ideas. The problem was with me that I'm very lazy to do certain stuff. So especially in the last 5 years,
Mm.
approximately, I I realized that you know if I just thinking about the ideas, I'm not doing anything, not putting them into emotion. Like nobody else is gonna do it for me.
Right.
And if and if I just like talk about them, and like putting it out there in a sense and asking like, hey, do you think that you will like this thing, or like, do you think that this is good for the internet? I'm also risking that somebody else is gonna steal it in a way, right? I'm
Well,
not
yeah.
talking about like the universe thing
Mm.
and everything. I don't think that nobody can steal that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know,
They,
ideas,
right.
and
Ideas.
I see it quite a lot with VTubers, and not just VTubers, like in general, like content creators.
Right.
And I tell everyone, like, hey, you know, just do it. Don't ask. Just do it. If you're passionate about it, just do it, and
Yeah.
you'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Exactly what I did right now, and I had zero clue that it's gonna be like this.
Well, I mean, I was going to ask you about goals, but it didn't sound like you had any real goals going in other than to see what it was like.
um, yeah. To be fair, yeah. Like it was sort of like this. Hey, let's try it and let's see how it goes, and then we can like build from that. So
Mm.
like right now, I see that it's working, and I'm having a lot of fun, and a lot of people actually um enjoy watching me and like being in this community of mine and
Yeah.
stuff. And now I am at the point where I'm like starting to set up goals, right?
Hmm.
So
So have you got one in mind?
so I believe that small goals are the way,
Mm.
because if you make a lot of small goals and they will add up in a one big one basically.
Right.
So right now, like I wasn't like it started with like, okay, um I had the first streams and I was like, okay, so the goal is basically like, okay, let's reach affiliate and grow up the community a little bit, start it out. I was like, I'm giving it 2, 3 months. I was done in 2 weeks. I had 30 members in my Discord.
Yeah.
Uh, everyone is active and I suddenly reached affiliate. I was like, okay, so I can push the goals right now a little bit, right?
Right.
So by the end of the month, if it goes same way as it went till now, I'm reaching for, let's say, the 100 followers on Twitch, and I don't know, this much views on YouTube, for example.
Mm.
And I'm just I'm setting up my like next goals from what's been going on for the past month, let's say,
Hmm.
and I'm not setting up unrealistic goals, like sometimes I see people who start up and they are like so excited about something going on, and see, oh my god, there's the initial hype,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna reach thousands subscribers or followers like in less than like I don't know 3 months." They feel like that because like in one day they get like
Yeah.
100 likes or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
And then there's the plateau, and they are like, "Oh god, it's not working anymore. It's over,"
Yes.
and they give up.
sounds like sounds like me and my old diet plans. I lost 2 pounds. I've still lost 2 pounds. I gained 5 pounds.
Yeah, no. When it comes to diet and exercising, that's definitely not me in this way. I don't have the same mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, my plateaus don't last very long, like 2 hours. Like, okay, I haven't lost any weight. Let's give time to give up. I'm really quick on the trigger as far as that goes. But so now that you realize that you do have, and it didn't take very long for you to get people who are
Mhm.
coming back for you and your personality and enjoying being with you as you stream. Um, how gratifying is that for you?
Mm, it's actually I've noticed because like to be fair, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we didn't do any lore stuff much. To be
Hmm.
fair, and I feel bad for it because I've been super lazy and super busy at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, but the people are still showing up, and they especially love my morning Sunday streams
Hmm.
when I literally like wake up and go straight live. And there's a lot of people just like I have approximately like every stream I have like first 5 minutes just starting screen,
Yeah.
and I already see like they immediately come in, and we have this daily spell cast, like daily check-in redeem there, and they just
Yes.
like spam that, and then they start talking to each other. Then they are offering me coffee because Aze's lore is that she loves coffee, obviously, and
Yes.
that's actually true for myself as well. But
Especially early in the
she,
morning.
yeah, she's the addict. So they start offering coffee and they're like, oh, how is our queen today? And we just talk and like about, and I'm staying also. Sometimes I'm like out of the character and just talk normally,
Hmm.
and people seems to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot, and they care about like some things that I'm talking about. They are genuinely curious,
Hmm.
and it's amazing. Like, I'm not saying that I didn't have these things before when I was a facecam streamer. There were people like that as well, but it's just in a sense, I don't know if it was just in my head or not, but like I felt more that they are doing it only to um
Mm.
like yes, like yes to support sort
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
but just to not to be like mean or like or
Oh.
like something like I don't know how to express it like
uh,
properly, but yeah. And then like so they like came in, they put couple messages in the chat, and then they either started lurking or like left at like completely.
yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
I definitely see the hey, the power of anime girls. Sort of, I don't know.
well, I think I think it goes beyond that to your to how you sound. Your personality really comes through in your voice, and it's disarming in its own way. It really someone would it'd be hard pressed not to enjoy talking with you, uh, the way that you.
Yeah, I heard that a couple times, and
Yeah.
I'm still like I feel like it's still sort of the I don't know, the PTSD from the face game. I don't know. So I'm like I don't know if I believe you. I don't know if I trust you. But so and I know that I have been always like outgoing and like open-minded, and and the mama of the group and everything in real life with my friends and stuff. So like
Hmm.
I do acknowledge that, like, yes, I'm a very easygoing person, with people.
Hmm.
But for some reason, it just felt so hard to do it as a facecam streamer. I don't know. Like, it was, I couldn't, I didn't, I don't know. It just didn't feel natural for me in some way.
I
And
understand.
now when I'm being sort of anonymous, basically, like people don't know who I am in real life, and they just, oh, it's Aze, is this anime girl, and and she's just and just when they only see the personality and like how I talk and like how I'm behaving, it's just I feel like it's better. I don't know how to. You know what You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
I
I don't.
do. I
Yeah.
do, and it's almost easier to be yourself if you don't have
Hmm.
to have that. And that this little bit of anonymity
Yeah.
is sometimes just enough to let people open up a little bit more and be more relaxed on a audience atmosphere. And that's what it seems like it is for you, and like you're describing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you always been somebody who wanted to be an entertainer out in front of people?
I feel like it because every when I look at all the things that I've done in my life,
Yeah.
I always was like, oh, I wanna make people happy and entertain, and I want people to like. I don't want to be like. Mm, it's not like attention seeking, like definitely not that,
Yeah.
but it was like, oh, I like people to have fun with me,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
and enjoy the same things. Um, because in the past, especially, um, I wanted to always stand out. I would say that.
Right.
So when I first discovered K-pop, right? So like I was bullied for that in school, right? Because oh my god, she's weird. Why does she like these Asian boys, and stuff. And then I just went with it, and I was in a K-pop dance group. I went to K-pop festivals, and I was in the K-pop contests, for dancing, and I got into finals as well, like
Whoa.
multiple times.
Dang.
I became K-pop DJ in my country. I was making the biggest parties in my country
Excellent.
as a K-pop DJ, and
Wow.
then I went to university and I studied Korean language, and I made it to Korea and lived there for 5 years.
Whoa. That's really cool. How tough was it to learn enough Korean to get around?
It's I think that was part of my sort of hyperfixation and the passion for Korea and the culture and K-pop and everything. And I just wanted to learn Korean, and it was just like I just went with it. So
Mm,
it was. I always loved languages.
yeah.
The other day, uh, my uh my Earthlings found out that I, through my life, learned or uh, that I learned or speak altogether 7 languages. They are
Oh,
like, what? So
oh, I envy that so much. I envy that
yeah, so
so
like
much.
yeah, I said that I speak Czech, I speak Slovak, I speak English. I learned also Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean.
Ch-
So
so, I'm sorry, I'm coughing. I'm like,
it's fine.
what? I mean, I mean, these aren't exactly the easiest languages to come around and learn, especially the last year. But I imagine if you grew up during a certain time,
Hmm.
Czech and Slovak languages kind of went hand to hand a little bit. Um,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, and you just grew up, you end up learning both because you learn both. That's just the way it was.
True.
But later on, learning both Chinese and Japanese and Korean.
Yeah, it was all at the same time in university. I was majoring in Korean,
Uh
but
huh.
that I took like voluntary classes for Japanese and Chinese as well.
Oh my gosh. Ah, you must have a brain the size of Beijing.
I don't know about that. To be fair, like I took the class for like Chinese, but I can't really remember anything much anymore
Yeah.
from that. Like I could do some basic, very basic, conversation. I
Yeah.
can't read the symbols anymore, you know. I
Yeah.
can't read that.
Yeah.
Uh when I visited Japan, I was able to get around with my Japanese.
Mm,
I had that longer than Chinese because I was enjoying that a little bit more.
yeah.
Um, it was way easier. So,
Wow. I
uh,
say I look at being a Midwestern American boy that I was. um, I look at those languages, especially the written
mhm.
ones, and I'm like, what in the world? How do you even know what's going on with these
The thing
symbols?
is, it's like Korean is the easiest probably because especially the alphabet has only 40 symbols,
Hmm.
so it's not that bad. Japanese has two alphabets, that's true, but it's also easy. The Chinese is like if you go for Chinese, I have the huge respect, for you
Hmm.
because that's the worst one.
Oh,
That's the worst one.
yeah. I mean, there's so many different versions
Yeah,
in the
as
same
well.
countries that speak Chinese. I've seen that the
Yeah, you have
those
Cantonese, you have Mandarin, and
yeah.
like all others, and it's not same.
No, it is not. It is not. It's like someone talks about Spanish being the same language. Well, technically, but somebody from Spain isn't going to speak the same language as someone from Argentina.
True,
It's going to be
true.
there's going to be some
A little bit
differences.
different, yeah.
Yeah, and English, of course. I mean, holy cow! If you talk to somebody in the United States and somebody in Australia and somebody in Great Britain, it's like 3 different languages.
Oh my God. I'm sort of happy that I actually learned English since kindergarten, and I have been through all 3 versions, and not just 3 versions. Like there's more,
Oh
like there
yeah.
you have also the Canadian English as well.
Oh
And
yes. Got that
so
extra. Got that extra used every word.
And thankfully, throughout my life, I met people from each part of this English. So I had a lot of British friends. I was in England as well. I had a working experience there. I
Mm,
never been to Australia, but I met a lot of Australian people while living in Korea,
mm.
and now I'm in North America. I'm living in Canada, and I've also been to USA.
Mm.
So.
Well, even everywhere. There's no stopping the Queen of
Oh,
Chaos, is there?
yeah, and I also and to get another actually English, I've been also to Singapore. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I mean that's the, going from Europe to the other side of the planet,
yeah, I've
basically.
been all around the planet.
And that would put me in a constant state of jet lag.
Oh my God.
Never catching up.
I've enjoyed a lot traveling back and forth from Europe to Korea before
Yeah.
because I was just like so excited and stuff,
Hmm.
but as I'm getting older, every time I need to go on a plane, I'm just like not again.
See, and I've never been on a plane in my life,
Oh.
and I'm an old man. So I mean, maybe that's kind of on the bucket list of something I'll do before everything's all done. But
Mm.
I say I barely get outside the my own little county here, let alone bouncing all
Hey,
over the
and
world.
there is nothing wrong about that in a sense, because not traveling around the world, like it's cool, but like it's not for everybody.
Hmm.
And like I I enjoy that. I enjoy like meeting new people, learning new cultures,
Hmm.
languages, and stuff. But
Hmm.
like at the same time, the whole process behind all of this is so stressful. You also need to spend a lot of money.
Hmm.
Then there is this whole visa stuff as
Oh
well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything is just crazy. So
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm sort of like I right now I'm like, I hope that I'm done for now, like at least for next couple years at least.
Well, I've got to ask you about this though. So, having that experience in your background, do you
Hmm.
think it makes it easier to talk? Because your audience is potential is around the world anyway. And you think it's
Yeah.
easier for you to relate to the folks in the chat because, heck, you might have lived in the country they're from.
Yeah, I have a lot of people from Europe, obviously.
Hmm.
So Europe is pretty small, and even if somebody is from, I don't know, let's say Spain or France or I don't know, Austria, we still have similar things, right? And we can like relate to each other quite a lot.
Hmm.
And then I don't think I have anyone from China, Korea, or Japan, but I do have some uh viewers from Malaysia or Philippines,
Hmm.
and actually like I've had in my like especially in Korea, I met a lot of Filipinos and people from Malaysia, and I was in Singapore, which is close to
Yeah, it's in that.
Philippines, I think.
Yeah, it's in.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it's in the general vicinity. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I know a lot about the world because I always loved like geography and history a little
Yeah.
bit, and the culture and learning stuff. So I do talk to a lot of people. I have friends in Thailand,
Yeah.
that I just made friends on the internet, and then we met in Korea because we met through K-pop, and this guy who lived in Thailand, he decided to go visit Korea while I was living there, and we just met and we had a blast, we were enjoying that a lot.
Oh.
So and I was working in guest house as well. So like I met so many people. It's not funny.
Well, I mean, it's great though that you've been able to have this kind of expansive, um, uh, meeting so many people from so many different so many different, I should say, backgrounds and
Yes.
cultures, and that's a pretty sweet existence if you think about it. That's a lot of input,
Hmm.
and
Yeah. The only place that I haven't been yet is Africa and Australia, and
yeah, yeah.
but I've met a lot of people from there, and it's just like yeah, it's easy for me to talk to foreigners, other
Sounds like
people, and learn.
well, really,
Yeah,
Ozzy, it sounds like it's easy for you to talk to anybody.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, has that always been the case?
mm, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when I was younger, I obviously I went through the phase that I didn't even want to call and make a doctor appointment,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Or when I was setting up my first bank account, I was like, "Hey, mom, can you come with me? I don't want to talk to them," that kind
Yes.
of thing.
Yeah.
But I suppose that when I went to university and I moved out and I was like on my own, and then I decided to go to Korea because I went to Korea through university scholarship. I was
Hmm.
studying there first,
Hmm.
and just living in completely different, on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
different culture, different customs and everything. Like, and on my own, I had to figure out a lot of things in a language that I barely spoke as well. I think that it actually, um, you know, like I grew up and
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember the word right now in
Yeah.
English. That's the curse of
Yeah.
being
You,
bilingual or whatever.
it's more than bi.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
It's multi. It's like a hydra of languages. Um,
I think isn't it the word polyglot or something like that?
yes, polyglot. That is the first time anybody has used the word polyglot on any of these interviews.
Oh.
You what you're seeing on your computer, you got a little achievement for that. First
Yay.
polyglot.
I can hear the steam pop up of achievement.
Well, so we got to get you back on because there's just too many things to talk about. What
Oh
you
yeah.
what you got going on, and we're gonna have all the links in the description here for this interview. But gosh, it sounds like you're having a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm. And people, and when people hear that, and they can't help but have a good time along with you. And I imagine you've noticed that right away.
Um, it's so like all of these things from my IR in real life IRL.
Hmm.
I haven't talked about them as much yet
Hmm.
with my community,
Hmm.
but I'm sort of getting into some stuff like this. And the last week we had this the morning stream on Sunday, and I was talking about like education in my home country and health insurance, and I was comparing it like with America and
Mm.
Europe and Korea and everywhere, and people had a lot of fun to like listen to all of that and uh like sharing the experience and stuff. I think I'm gonna be like, especially on the just chatting yapping streams, I'm gonna be like using those a little bit more because people seems to enjoy it quite a lot. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just, and you're so engaging with it, and and while you might think, well, I'm all over the place. No, it's really down to earth. It's very um it's not like an outlandish, tale of this, that,
Hmm.
and the other thing. You're very down to earth and open person, and online, at least with me, you have been. I appreciate that, and it makes for a very fun and easy conversation. So I got to have you on again here before the end of the year because we
Oh,
got
that's I'm all for that.
yeah we got a lot more to talk about, Ozzy,
Oh,
and
I could yap for hours.
me too. Which one of the reasons why I keep doing these. I keep yapping,
Yeah,
yapping.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for coming on. And again, my hat's off to you for everything you've done to this point. And I
Thank you
imagine,
so much. It's been I had a really good time talking to
yeah,
you.
thank you. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, sure. Just hit me up anytime you want.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.